Greetings, earthen beings. My name is Shreya.
Flynn.
Kellic.
Olma.
And I'm your DM, Ethan. Welcome to Venture Forth. Previously, you all had traveled to the city of Solaris, a dwarven stronghold within the nation of Kaldur. You guys passed through the town of Blackpool and met up with a strange warforged named Thaddeus. You guys grabbed his head, and after revealing some information to March that her long-lost sister was actually alive down south, she veered off from the path and parted ways from the rest of the party. The rest of you moved on to Solaris, awaiting Thaddeus' contact to come to you and help dispel any sort of magical or non-magical tracking that was alerting you to the Hologuard. You guys had a day to yourselves, each of you taking care of some business, dispensing in some revelry and some fun activities. And at the end of the day, you guys all come back together. So, as we start, the sun sets on the horizon just over the wall of Solaris. The last beams of golden sunlight disappear in the air as a cold wind comes through the city. Kalic, you are the first to arrive back in your room. You open the door and you see beds empty. You see the gold and the silver and the copper that you had laid out, all taken for the day. You see Thaddeus' head no longer there on the dresser. What would you like to do?
I will watch the sunset as it goes down, and reflect on the day's events and on the new meaning that the sun falling has to me. And I'll pull from my pocket my tri-ring sigil and unwrap it from the cloth and just hold it up to the falling sun and turn it and look through each ring into the sunlight, just in a moment of sort of meditation and trying to put all the pieces together.
Okay. And in the midst of your contemplation, you hear the door behind you creak open. Shreya, you enter the room and you see Kalic standing there by the window.
Do I notice what he's engaged in? Is it clear to me right off the bat?
I'm going to have you make a religion check.
Oh, that is not great. That is a 6.
6. No, you see him holding up his necklace to the sun. Not sure exactly what the significance there is.
One of my favorite pastimes. Admiring the intricacies of light through something. What?
And I'm gonna sort of charge around to the side and try to get a better look at it myself over around the corner. I may even just put my hands on his shoulder and pop over his shoulder and be like, "Oh, what is that?"
You didn't try. Caught me by surprise. This is my necklace. You've heard me speak of Famir, yes?
Someone you admire greatly. A great being, a deity, I suppose.
Yes, she, you follow the teachings of Eldoria, and Famir was something of a companion of hers. Is something of a companion of hers. And Famir, she is exalted by the light, right? And I gesture to the red edges of the sun as it's trailing in the distance. And these circles, these rings on my necklace, they represent all the ways that we experience light, right? The sun, the moon. And each time I say one of these things, I gesture to one of the rings and the stars. But I don't know what to make of it. You know, between all the light, there's all this darkness. And are we supposed to think that the darkness is somehow worse than the light? Just because it doesn't have a glimmer. And you might notice as I'm handling this piece of metal that it's quite tarnished, and in fact, in some places it's warped. It's misshapen. And I just kind of lose myself in thought regarding this. What do you think, Shreya? Dark and light, these things have any meaning to you?
I try to keep myself from having a preference in my own way. I recognize that one cannot exist without the other. And yet, I find myself drawn to one, as you might have noticed in our time together. And yet, the questions you put forth they have no easy answer. I consider it a miracle every single day that Ilduria both provides and transmutes the energy that comes from these distinct sources of light. And yet, the more I think I understand both the splendor and the mystery of the forces that shape this world, the more questions I have, the more frustrated I become in my quieter moments, as quiet as they may seem.
How did you come into Eldoria's teachings? Were you taught them, or did you find her? Did she find you?
I'm not sure whether she found me or whether I found her. I will say that it's not knowledge that I was, wisdom that I was brought up or directed toward. Rather, she seemed more of a complement to the ways in which I was taught to interact with the world around me and the essence and substance that pervades all things. She, to me, seemed to be almost like an offshoot of the universal energy that pervades everything that grows. Almost like a messenger for it. And when I found Farlane and the elven brother and sisterhood that I found myself within, it almost seemed like something I had been searching for, yet, and something that agreed with everything I had known up until that point. And I couldn't help but dive into those teachings.
What about them drew you? The reverence or the ritual?
There was a certain comfort in the ritual, and I will admit, something about the records and how ancient and how long it had been passed down that beings of all stripes had looked to her for guidance. The way I grew up, I I was never taught that record keeping or any kind of way of looking up to and organizing around principles was any kind of way of being. Nature herself was simply a life force, something that couldn't be understood or channeled in that kind of way. And so, I could only fall back on the teachings of my tribe. And yet, in the presence of Ilduria, in the presence of such a being that could be understood and learned from, and principles that could guide one's life in a more practical way, I will admit I have not always been even this good at even communicating with other beings that are not like myself. But the teachings of Ilduria gave me a touchstone. I remember meditations at that altar in the woods, in that forest, in that shadow timberland. They helped me in my ability to even reach out to beings not like myself.
I gotta admit, Shreya, it's hard to imagine you being worse at communicating.
Oh, well.
But,
Well, you should have seen the first beings I ever came into contact with that were not like myself. They walked on 4 legs.
Well, I am curious. I took a walk this morning down to the temple district of this place, and I don't even know if that's what they call it here. It's just what I would refer to it as from experience. But they have a temple here to the god. I'm loath to even call him a god, but Amriel, and I was watching them as they kept the plants here and tended to the plant life around their temple, and the diligence with which they cared for them. It struck me. In the Shadow Timberland, that temple was almost unidentifiable by how overgrown the foliage was. But here, it was, I don't know, cleaner, but still vibrant. What do you make of Amriel?
Ethan, in my travels, would I have even heard of this deity or being until now?
I'm gonna have you make another religion check.
Another one. Okay.
Another one.
Even worse. 4.
Nope. This is the first time you're hearing of Amriel.
I will admit I've, by choice and by happenstance, been less inclined to pursue the gods that would crop up in a city like this. So I can't say I have any sort of familiarity with the god in which you speak.
Well, with our dealings as of late, and our interaction with this war, it was important to me to see, what it was all about, why people would risk their lives just to fight over, whose temple we're keeping. And a sort of wistful look shines in my eye. I was quite taken with the people here. They're not monsters. They're not bloodthirsty. They truly believe that they're liberating the people of Andel and Genbaldir. And that kind of devotion, that kind of belief, and it's dangerous. It's part of why I don't think this war will be put to bed comfortably.
Perhaps the danger in any being or any tribe is the will to exert their own beliefs over the freedoms of all who roam this world. I did my own exploring through this city. Seems, at least in this settlement, that the ethos is very geared toward arranging and putting things in their place. It's just not something I'm familiar with. It's not a way of approaching the world that I know.
You both hear the door creak open behind you, and a halfling walks through, that of Flynn.
It starts to creak open, and then carrying Thaddeus's head under my one arm and a second bag that I'm holding in my other arm, I kind of off balance and I kind of push the door open a little bit further, and Thaddeus's head rolls out and hits the ground. Whoa! And I go pick it up and I look up. Oh, hey, Kellic, Trya, and I run over. What are you guys doing? Guys, I had a crazy day. Check this out. I brought Thaddeus with me. He kind of helped a little bit, and I set him in Trya's lap. And I got this.
Hello, Thaddeus.
What?
I was just saying hello to the...
Oh, well, he's not on right now. I found that out, that you kind of have to turn him on to talk to him. You can't just talk to him. He doesn't actually always hear you. I can turn him on if you want to talk to him.
No, that's all right. Carry on. What were
Well,
you
I also got
trying to
this,
show us?
and I hold up the bag that I'm holding, and I went on a hunt with a sentinel of the Ironlight Collective, like an actual sentinel, and he knew Victor, my mentor.
How did you find out he was a member?
Oh,
Did he tell you?
There's some secret codes that you learn as a collective member, and I happen to know
turn to
those.
Trya and I go, he told him. He just announced it, I'm sure.
Oh, well, yeah, of course. Anyway, check this out, and I hold up the bag. I actually brought something back, because apparently I forgot, and Balin reminded me. I have to take this to. Oh man, I don't even know how we're gonna get back. Anyway, here, and I'll reach into the bag, and I will think about a hook horror head.
Okay, and as Flynn holds up the bag, he plunges his hand into the bag, and his hand goes in past his wrist, past his elbow, and down to his shoulder, far past where the bag should normally end. And Flynn, you feel yourself grab onto the back tuft of like feathers and fur of the hook horror head.
Pull that thing out, show it to the group.
And he pulls out this disgusting, rank thing. It is a like purplish head with feathers all in like this mess on the top of its head, and its face comes down to this stark white bone beak at the front of its face. And you can see, even though its eyes are completely white, you can see they're like rolled back by the amount of veins that are coming up from underneath the eyes. Something that normally should not fit in this bag, but he just pulled it out of the bag.
Check it out! Isn't it crazy?
DM, if I look at it, does it appear to be real? Like,
I hold it uncomfortably close to Kellic's
skeptical.
face.
I make eye contact with the hook horror.
Make a nature check for me.
Nature 10.
10. It's definitely real. The smell is definitely real. Yeah, it's for sure it's real.
I'm going to take a step back and wince a little bit and just look over, like turn my head sideways and then say,
It's a formidable kill. Why on earth were you hunting it?
Well, when I found Balin, the sentinel, he said that he actually was hunting these things. Apparently they're causing problems in the town, so we went down into this deep dark cave and we fought these things. I kicked one off a cliff into lava, and we also fought spiders, and yeah, and then I have to basically take this as proof to the collective that I did it, at least at this time.
Are you saying these beings are actual residents of this city?
No, they live underground, I guess. The tunnel went further down, but we didn't go down. There was some drow that kind of ran down the tunnel. We never really figured out what they were doing, but basically we just were taking care of these hook horrors.
Ugh.
And we did. And now I have to show this to Melleru, and then now she'll be proud of me. I think.
We'll see about that. But good job, Fen. Isn't there something you should do? And I just kind of like start to look around its various goopy orifices, and I'll. Isn't there something you should do to? I don't know, prepare it or so it doesn't decompose.
I'm pretty sure there is. I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't really too good at the class stuff, like sitting down and memorizing and learning. So I kind of forget what I'm supposed to do. Do you know what I should do to keep this thing?
I reach into my medical bag and I pull out a little glass vial of salt, and I open it up and I put a pinch of it into my fingers, and I just kind of move it between my fingers in front of the face of this creature, and I just whisper, "Quietus," and I cast gentle repose, and the salt floats up from my fingers, and glows orange, and flies like little dazzling, spiraling lightning bolts to the various openings where this thing is dripping.
Cool.
And sort of sears them into a more refined state. And what it does for the spell's effect is the target is protected from decay and can't become undead for 10 days.
Whoa.
All right.
Whoa. Yeah, they didn't teach me that in the collective. That was really cool. And I'll just shove it back in the bag. Also, yeah, this bag, apparently I can put a bunch of stuff in it. So if you guys need to carry things, let me know.
I'm gonna whisper over to Kell.
I'm bringing what I hunt to you from now on.
What did you guys get up to?
And right as you say that, you hear the door, not a gentle creak, but a burst open as the wood door almost comes off of its hinges, slams into the wall. You see Olma standing there in the doorway.
The other short one.
Guys, you'll never guess who I found. A sec. Ouch. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't run all the way here. Ow, ow.
You
oh,
okay?
My rib.
Olma, are you hurt?
Just one second. I found Kale. Kale, we gotta go. Come on, guys. Let's go. I found Kale. Come on.
Kale, the locksmith's son.
I had dinner with him. It was really nice. Let's go.
I just look at the other two in amazement. Yes,
guys,
lead on.
Guys, come on.
Sure, all right, let's move.
I'll toss the bag of holding to...
I'm running back out the door.
I'll toss the bag to Shreya.
holding my rib cage.
If I have things that were in the room, I'm just gonna quickly gather the bolt out of the door.
Shreya, here, carry this. And I'll toss you the bag, because I already have a backpack and I can't carry two.
All right. So you guys run out the door, down onto the streets of Solaris, and Olma guides you through some alleyways, ducking around shops,
City secrets. And
she says aloud as she.
She's just yelling that out in the alleyways. I love that.
City secret. People being woken up from their beds. Like, huh?
But eventually, through city secrets, you get to that house.
Guys, so I met this really cool guy and this really cool kid, and we were playing a little bit, and just happened to be like running up a tree, and I got to fight some of his bullies. Man, they were so mean to him. And we were playing, and we broke into a magic shop, and then he invited me home for dinner. And guess who his dad was?
Kale.
Yeah.
All right. Wow, that's quite the coincidence, Olma.
Yeah. What can I say?
Wait, how did you meet this young man?
Oh, we were just playing.
You met him on a playground?
No, he was playing outside his house, and I was running, and I just saw him, and he seemed really nice, and his sister was really nice, and he told me he showed me around.
Well,
And he showed me this big tree, and if you climb to the very top of it, you can see the whole town. can show you the tree.
Take us to Kell. We can see the tree later.
Okay. So, so you guys are going through the city, and eventually Olma brings you to sort of the residential area of this city and brings you up to a house. Looks like a 2-story wooden house, a couple of torches lit outside, and you could see a gentle glow of some sort of fireplace or possibly some lamps from the inside. The door is closed.
I knock. Shh, be quiet.
Make a perception check.
13.
13. You just catch a glimpse on the second story up in a window in a dark room. You just catch a glimpse of Kale, who was looking out down at you guys, moving back into the shadows. And after a minute, another minute, the door in front of you slowly creaks open. And you hear, "Okay, you're all here?
Yeah.
Okay, come inside." And he opens the door fully to you guys.
Whoever I'm in front of or behind as we walk in, I'm just going to say,
What has she enlisted us in?
I never really. No, I'm not really sure, but we'll figure it out.
I am gonna take a beat to assess the situation and kind of. Can I see inside when he opens the door?
Yeah, you can. It is lit by the fireplace that is currently alight. You can see, it looks like a family's home. You can see a little living area right next to the fireplace. You can see a kitchen area, and it looks like some of the dishes are still out, but most of them have been cleared. And you can see a staircase that goes up to the second floor. And standing there is a middle-aged human man, dark hair, sort of a mid-length dark hair, and a thick brown mustache across his face.
Did we bring Thaddeus?
Yeah, could I have just said I kept Thaddeus under my arm?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. And as you see him standing there, he looks to Olma and he says, "Why don't you bring your friends inside?"
Yeah. So you know me, I'm Olma, and this right here, and I point to the tall drought. This is Kellic, and
Hello?
and this is Shreya, and I point to Shreya, and this is Flynn, and this is Thaddeus, but it looks like he's sleeping.
I can wake him up if you want.
No, I would prefer if you kept him in whatever state he's currently in. Would you all care to come inside?
Yes, please.
Sure.
Okay.
Thank you.
And he leads you guys inside, and he sits you guys down on a little couch right across from the fireplace. As you guys look around, the fireplace is the only source of light in this room, and it's casting these weird long shadows over in the kitchen area and up on the stairs. And as you guys look around, you sort of keep thinking that you see things out of the corner of your eye, but you realize that they're just shadows from the fire. And you sit down, and the couch is comfortable, the fire is warm, and you sort of settle into your seats. Kale walks over to a chair that's opposite you guys and sort of next to the fireplace, and he sits down and he says, "Now, I will take precautions to protect myself. I hope you realize this, but I need you all to state your allegiances at this current moment. Are any of you associated or loyal to Hologuard?"
Certainly not.
Nope.
I make no allegiance to any organized group of beings.
Well, that's a good start. Drow, where do you find your allegiances?
My only allegiance is to righteousness.
And the halfling?
The Ironlight Collective.
Well, Olma here was telling me that you all had staved off a possible attack, and you guys had known of my father. Is that correct?
I knew your father. I don't know if anyone else in of my friends has heard of him. But we did fight somebody from the Hologuard.
Okay, well that's a good start. And did anyone follow you into the city?
No, not that we're aware of, but we're also waiting here for anti-tracking things potentially so that no one can find us ever again.
Okay, well that's helpful. Where are you getting those? Because I might be in need of that service as well.
I don't really know, but once I know, I'll tell you.
The
Okay.
automaton, the dismantled head is working on that for us.
Again, I can wake him up if you want to find out about it.
But it seems like you really need some help hiding because people really want to find you. Why do they want to find you so bad?
I don't know if it's exactly me that they're after, but rather my father, and they seem to believe that I know where my father is.
Why do they want your father?
Well, my father was a locksmith. Olma, you know this. And he was a very good locksmith. He created keys, and he created locks that could not be opened. And he got into business with Hologuard, and he would create locks for companies and for businesses, and then he would create an identical set of keys and sell them off to the Hologuard to then easily enter these places that would not normally be entered. He also, through his research, found ways to create keys to other places that aren't here. And I don't know how far into his research he got. He tried to keep me out of it, probably for the reason that I'm being tracked right now, but I do know he created keys that went to other places that normally you are not able to go.
Like other
I assume-
planes? Like where Shreya's from?
I don't know where I assume if you're from another plane, I assume that's where those keys are able to take you.
I would be very interested in perhaps revisiting the place that I've only been in vague memories, dreams, and legends of my ancestors.
I believe that's where some of his keys can take you. I'm not exactly sure, like I said, to the extent, but I would assume that that's what Hologuard is after.
Okay. But you also said, and Kell, this one's important. You said that you knew about a cult that worships a wolf.
Yes, yeah, I've heard of a red wolf.
Do they have something to do with the planes as well?
I cannot tell you for certain. I know that they are part of the group who was trying to come after me and my family to find out where my father was. I have only seen the symbology a few times, and I've heard only a few chants from what I assume are members of this cult when they were coming after me.
At risk of sounding like the people you mentioned who are interested in finding you, why was it that you and your father were separated?
Well, he sort of disappeared a number of years ago. And I have barely spoken with him since.
I know that pain all too well.
What was his name? What is his name? Sorry.
Bram.
So, you're being pursued by both the Hologuard and this cult of the Red Wolf.
It seems so.
Knowledge.
Yeah.
Because with our recent experience, it would seem these two groups are aligned and communicating. So your father, do you have any sense of why the Hologuard would want access to alternate planes?
I don't know their exact motives. I can't predict. I would assume there's some sort of power to be held onto there, to be able to go to different planes at will, to be able to unlock doors through dimensions. I can think of a number of applications for that sort of power.
Well, we dealt with a red wolf before, and in the interest of honesty, one of his buddies wasn't in his crypt, so, like, that's really bad. And then...
Name Carvin Amberstone mean anything to you?
Never heard of it.
Okay, well, so maybe the cult and Hologuard aren't necessarily tied, but everybody wants your dad.
That's what Drek seemed to imply when we spoke to him. There was at least a tangential correlation of the two.
I assume this is the... And he turns to Olma. This is the man you were telling me about?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, he was real scary. But also, like, have you ever heard of a prison crystal?
Yeah. Well, not... Are you talking about one specifically, or just the concept of them?
Both?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a pretty common practice for people who are too powerful to be sort of kept in normal bonds, to be locked away. It's a normal practice for those of us in the military of Kaldur.
Well, Drac relayed to us before trying to kill us that he was after you, and some of his people got held up in a crystal. Well, that crystal broke, and there are lots of shards all over the place, and some of them have infiltrated bodies, and I don't know what their plan is.
Okay. And you can see him sort of putting some puzzle pieces together in his head. So this man who was after you was... So he was part of the group who was then trapped in the crystals.
I think so. That's at
correct.
least what he said.
Okay. And if they're free now, then I'm gonna have to leave.
That seems reasonable.
I'm gonna have to go. I think I'm gonna pack my things and grab my family and leave. Olma, it was very nice to meet you, and I appreciate you bringing this information to me. And I apologize for my leaving so soon, but I must protect my family, and I will leave you at this time.
Should we know who they are?
Honestly, at this point, it doesn't matter much. Can you? Would you be able to give me a physical description for people I should look out for?
Can they jump bodies?
I have not known any sort of magic that can do this.
Okay, yeah. So one is like a red tiefling, with kind of a gnarly burned face, and the other one is a half-orc with a hole in its chest.
Okay. Olma, once again, I appreciate this, but I will have to go.
Kale, I'll stand up to add force to my interruption. Frida, Artemnesia. Does the name mean anything to you?
No.
She was a high-ranking official of the Temple of Pamir.
I'm sorry, I don't recognize that name. I have to go.
We have letters of her correspondence with your father. And it's damning evidence.
That is not a path you want to tread. Now, I'm sorry.
I assure you that it is. Give me something to go on. If Frida has spoiled the light, that she's got to be stopped.
She's found herself on a dark path, and I'm afraid no one can stop that at this point.
Give me something. You know something. Tell me where to start. Tell me what she asked.
I'll give you a name. Do not use this name lightly. This name will get you in trouble. Only use it with people you trust. And to find the answers that you need. And he pulls you in real close. And I'm going to have everyone except Kalik stop listening here for a second. And he pulls you in real close and he whispers into your ear, Vas Rona. And he pushes you back.
As he does this, I will undo my bandage a little bit to show the burn of my hand. I'll say, I assume you know the significance of this mark. So I hope you'll take my meaning when I say, I vow only to share this name with those to whom it is pertinent.
I share not your convictions, but I know the meaning of this, so I appreciate it. And he reaches over by the fireplace and grabs a bag, sort of slings it over his shoulder. The house is yours. I don't know how safe it is, but there's food in the kitchen if you all require. But I must go.
Can you tell Adam I said bye?
I'll tell him, Olma. And thank you again.
I don't know if we helped.
As he walks out the door and he closes it behind him.
I sure don't feel any closer to anything.
I look discouraged over at Olma. It's something. I have a crumb.
Sorry, maybe I shouldn't have told him people were after him right away.
It's all right, Olma. You'll learn to perform interrogations in time.
I just don't want him to get hurt, you know? He's nice.
Right thing to do.
Is he nice? I don't know. It's so hard to know, you know?
Hard to say. His father was up to some nefarious works. And to be candid, making keys for the special locks he designed, it's a miracle he's alive if he is at all. I can imagine any of the organizations that employed his skills as a locksmith would have been pretty upset to find that their locks were easily foiled by keys he made for thieves.
Really? I just wish I knew what side Kale was on, because it's really confusing. I know he's a general on one side, but, his letters seem pretty damning. Why is war so confusing?
Why is any cause confusing?
I look over to Kalik, and I say,
It appears followers of your Famir are perhaps just as conflicted as you are. Especially the ones that purport to follow most fervently.
Shreya, I wish they were as conflicted as I. At a time like this.
While they're talking, I'll just turn to Thaddeus and turn him on for 10 minutes.
All right. And you see his eyes glow purple once again. Oh, hey, Flynn.
Hi. We had a chat with some people, and I figured, I don't know, maybe you could help. I don't know if they have any questions for you, and I'll turn his head towards the group, towards Olma and towards Kellic.
Oh, hello again, everyone.
Hi, Thaddeus.
Hello.
What can I help with?
How was your day?
My day was amazing. You should have seen some of the shit Flynn and I got up to.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it was great.
Guys, he could do cool stuff.
Yeah, it's not like what I could do before.
It was great. You did great.
I tried my best.
But yeah, we just talked to Kale, and he had to leave. I don't know if you have any more information about the thing we're here waiting for, but I figured if Olma, Kellic, if you have questions, figured I'd turn them on and you can ask them. And after I say that, I'll stand up and I'm just gonna walk around the house and look around for. I want to look around for like any cool locks. Like I'll open drawers and see if there's any cool like locks that maybe Kale left or his father left, or any type of mementos or cool special locks.
Okay. Cool. So as you're looking through that, the rest of you are left downstairs with Thaddeus. Flynn said you had questions.
I don't really have any questions for you. How long have you been around?
I've been around a couple years. I think at this point, probably 14, 15.
Yeah, I don't know if you're old enough.
Old enough for what?
To be of any help, to know any of the secrets.
Oh.
I mean, have you ever heard of a cult of the Red Wolf?
I have not.
Yep.
Yep.
Kellic,
Yes, Olma.
what was that name Kale said to you?
I made a promise I wouldn't just toss it around, Olma.
I know, but I'm kind of involved now, you know?
Aye. But, the promises I make, Olma, I have to keep them.
But I could help.
I know.
So you'll tell me when I can help?
That I will.
When will that be?
I don't know.
Does it have anything to do with what we're doing right now?
What are we doing right now?
Well, right now we're just waiting to
We're
be able
just
to
in
avoid...
Kale's house.
Yeah, well, but I think right now we're just waiting to be able to get those whatever bobbers from Thaddeus so that the Hologuard can't find us anymore, right? I mean, that's the key. And then we have to keep finding prison crystals.
Right now, it appears we are in a dissident's house, and based on my experience of this city, the city does not look too kind on them. So, if you'll excuse me, and I'm going to make my way toward either the windows or the door, I'm just going to, look out to just check and make sure no one's, approaching the structure.
Yeah, make up perception checks.
11.
11, you look out, you don't see anyone approaching.
Oh, that's good.
Should we not be here then?
Was Kale a spy? Have we assessed that?
No, I don't know. I mean,
Where was he on the war itself?
he was a general for Kaldur,
Right, but he was in communication with...
Artemisia, which you're the only one who knows anything about Artemisia, so I don't know anything about her.
Right, and...
So was she a spy? Or was he a spy?
Right, which one of them was... Well, we know that at least the person who was posing as Artemisia was certainly not a devotee of Mare.
You think that someone was actually posing as her?
Hope so.
That's a nice hope.
Don't patronize me, Olma.
Oh, sorry. I wasn't trying to be patronizing.
It's fine. It's fine. The point is, there wasn't anything in their letters about the war, was there?
Yeah, I mean, they received they received a potion. We just kind of thought it might have been the Silver Tongue potion to get that person in. But I guess it could have all been a ruse and all false anyway. It's really hard to know when you don't know who the spy was. I mean, I will say that today at dinner, Kell and his wife prayed to the new gods, I think. So that would imply that
they were faithful to the causes of Kaldor. Right.
Yeah.
Sure.
But I mean, maybe they're just like deep undercover. And they don't even want their kids to know that they pray to other gods. Seems very, very twisted. But I think you're probably right, Shreya. Maybe we shouldn't be here?
Yes, even if the local authorities are not after them, as you're saying, they were aligned with the people loyal to this country. You did mention that there were other elements after him as well.
Flynn.
Yeah.
Real quick, I'm going to have Flynn make an investigation check.
Sure.
As you go upstairs.
And I have advantage on this?
You have an advantage on all intelligence checks.
Ooh, very, very good. Natural 20.
Nice. So you're specifically looking for locks.
Yeah, locks
right?
or any cool gadgety kind of locking mechanisms that maybe, I guess, are locking a chest, or maybe they're open that I can take.
Okay. You go upstairs, and the first door on your right, you open up, and it looks like a kid's room. You can see 2 beds there, and you can see there is this little ball off in the corner, right next to what looks like a closed and locked chest.
Okay. Well, I'll go check that one out first. I'll go up to it and kind of touch the lock and inspect it and look at it, see if it looks fancy or if it just looks like a normal lock.
Okay. Looks like just a normal lock. And with your natural 20 investigation, you see on a little end table right next to it is a little key. It looks like a little simple, very generic key. And as you take it, you open up this chest. The simpleness of the key makes sense as you open this chest, and it looks like a toy chest for a couple of kids. This lock and key was probably just part of the make of the chest, but very simple. As you walk into the next room, you see what looks like probably the master bedroom of this place. You go through closets, the drawers. You find that most of it has been cleared out, just the same as in the children's room. Most of the clothes have been taken away, and most of the possessions have been taken as well. You do find, just in one of the sort of nightstands right next to the bed, you open up the top drawer, and laying right there, the only thing in this drawer is looks like an iron lock. Just like a very simple iron lock. You don't see a key that goes along with it, but as you take it and you flip it upside down, you see on the back of it, sort of etched in this nice little embroidery, you see the initials BD.
E.D. Huh. I'll put it in my pocket. How big is it? It's it fits in my hand?
Yeah, it fits in your hand.
I'll just put it in my pocket. Huh. I'll look in the other drawers, see if I can find a key. I'll look around under the bed. I'll find a key.
You do not find a key.
Huh. Yeah, I'll throw it in my pocket and head to the... Are there any other rooms, or is that it?
That is it up here.
Okay.
As you head downstairs and meet up with the rest of the group.
Hey, Thaddeus.
Yeah.
When do you think your contact will be here?
Most likely tomorrow morning.
Okay, so we just have to make it through the night?
Yeah, I would think so.
Well,
If we distance ourselves from this place, there's no reason to think we're in any danger.
yeah, maybe we quietly leave so nobody can see where we're going.
Should we split up?
What would be the benefit of that?
Well, that way, if someone's following us, they'd have to choose. Perhaps, since we know where we're going, we could all meet back up at the inn.
But if they choose to follow one of us, and that person's in substantial danger.
That's true. I hadn't thought about that.
I mean, we could all go one way, and then Flynn could go by himself. Just split it off that way.
I don't know.
I'm okay. I'm good with that.
I jest, Flynn. I'm being facetious. We should all stay together. And
Well, I mean, I am the strongest of the group, so.
March isn't here any longer to argue with you on that, Flynn. So you're never gonna have to fight for that title.
I hope she's okay.
Yeah.
All right. So you guys all heading back as a group?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So you all
I would like
leave?
I would like to be as stealthy as possible as we exit
Okay.
Sure,
the
same.
space.
Okay, awesome. So I'm going to have everyone make a stealth check. Does City Secrets give you anything on that?
No, it just makes us move twice as fast.
City
so,
secrets.
I mean, if that helps
Okay.
a little bit.
Yeah, so you guys will be moving at a normal pace if you guys are trying to be stealthy.
Sure. Rolling.
And just throw them at me when you get those.
18.
Great.
15.
18.
Nice. Okay. Shrai, you're a little bit less stealthy than the rest of the group. You got a 3, correct?
Yes.
Okay. You everyone's like ducking down alleys and everything, and you are trying to follow them, and you think you hear something behind you, so you quickly turn around. But you don't think it was anything, and then you turn back around, and as soon as you turn back around, your entire party is gone.
No.
Yeah,
And you look around, and I'm gonna have you make a perception check for me.
it was my idea to. More than I. Where did they go?
Perception. That is a dirty 21.
Okay. You sort of concentrate once again, and you can hear some footsteps just down and off to the right. So you dip around the corner, and you find your party once more, and you guys all safely make it back to the inn. And as you guys are sort of ducking and weaving through these buildings, Thaddeus looks up to you guys, and he says, well, I think that might be it for me for the day. So I just wanted to say before, we all go to sleep and all this, I just had a lot of food.
Buddy.
What was he going to say?
I don't know. Should I wake him up again? Oh, we can't.
You can't wake him up again?
No, that's it. Done forever.
A lot of fears.
He's dead?
Dead.
Forever?
Yeah,
Oh, man, I'm never going to get to find out what he was going to say.
I know. It's gonna rack my brain for the rest of my life.
A lot of fraudulent tax returns. Perhaps.
Probably.
You guys make it back to the inn.
Great.
You guys walk inside completely unnoticed by anyone who might be or might not be following you. And you guys make it up to the room. Is there anything you guys want to do before you guys actually get down for a long rest?
What a weird day. I really hoped finding Kell would help us more.
Yeah.
It does feel a bit anticlimactic, doesn't it?
Well, what do we do now?
Who wants to get to other planes and why? That's really spooky, huh? Like this whole thing just seems a lot bigger than a war, right?
DM, do I know, like, where like Archfey, if they would exist on another plane, or if, like, can I put the pieces together of what relationship planes may have to the fallen storm, all these things?
Yeah. I'm gonna have you make a religion check.
17.
Okay, so let's see. You would have read that Archfey, they, would you know? I'm trying to relate this specifically to what you would know.
The assertion that I want to make is like that the Cult of the Red Wolf may want to traverse the plains to reach Dalmuk or his kin, but I don't know that I would know that that's a thing.
Yeah, yeah. You would know that most Archfey come from the Feywild, and they they mostly come from the Feywild. You wouldn't be able to discern any like purpose or motive necessarily from this.
But the Feywild is an outer plane, right?
Yes, it is.
Not to be confused with the Freywild, which is on the map, I think.
Yes.
The Freywood.
The Freywood.
Freywood. Okay.
The Freywood, which, interesting enough, is where, like, a lot of, you would know this, and actually Shreya would know this too, a lot of claims of, like, contact with Archfey and, like, interactions with Archfey have claimed to have come from the Freywood. And that sort of seems to be a hub for that sort of thing.
Well, if I were a cultist, right, and I would never be a cultist, certainly, but if I were, I might want to access other planes to try and reach the originators of the thing that I worship, this red wolf that we found the tomb of. Perhaps his spirit is trapped somewhere elsewhere, or if not his, then another that would carry on his torch. The Feywild would be where Archfey Dalmuk would have come from, so it's possible.
So do you think all of the souls in the prison crystal are cultists?
Well, no, because Drac was associated with these people, no? Or was he tangential?
Well, maybe the cultists just joined up with Hologuard out of convenience,
Right.
because everybody was after Bram.
Right, because Hologuard could use Bram to get money, right? And
maybe they were angry
cult
because he wasn't making keys for them anymore.
could use Bram to get to other dimensions.
And they are two
And-
separate things. It's not that the Hologuard just is the cult.
Yeah.
And you were sure?
Right, Kerr didn't know anything of
A cult.
the souls of the crystals.
Okay.
And I don't think that your Tiefling
In my
friend
time traveling,
voluntarily
DM,
was possessed.
in my time traveling with Kerr and the team, did Zergath and everyone, did I ever hear them mention a cult of the Red Wolf?
No, you would have never heard any mention
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, I mean, my group never mentioned it. Even when we went to Bram's house, there was never any mention of like, hey, find any wolf iconography. So I don't think Hologuard and the cultists are the same necessarily. Maybe they just had the same goals.
With power that great, it does seem like different factions could be after it for different reasons. I've noticed that whether it be precious resources from the earth or just the ability to maintain a level of freedom or will over others, power in any form can be enticing.
Right. That's true. You know, I don't know much about the planes, but are there any planes that cause or have lots of fire?
I've only heard legends of them. But then again, in my early days, I was instructed that there are many different planes. Some only pass on their knowledge to the beings of this plane in very particular vessels.
Because when I was investigating Bram's house, his workspace was like full of ash and smoke. And if he was working on keys, and maybe he got a key to somewhere that had a lot of fire, I wonder if some of that fire caused a big explosion.
His workplace is full of ash?
Like soot. Like the walls had soot on them, but it didn't seem magical.
Was there signs of an explosion?
I mean, why else would there be tons of smoke? There wasn't like blasts or anything.
There was smoke or just soot?
Soot. It was probably a while ago. Like there wasn't any like blown up furniture that sometimes happens when there's an explosion.
Well, I spent some time in a temple today. A few of them.
To the new gods?
One of the new gods is he's an entity of ashes. He exists in a place called the Argent Plains. And the Argent Plains are a beautiful, bountiful land where there's wildlife and vibrance, plant life, worlds of grace. But at its core, it's composed of ashes.
TM, do I remember the walls being just soot, like from a fire, and not ash specifically, or?
Yeah, it looks specifically like, in your specific experience, there was a fire that was lit there and it engulfed the entire room. It wasn't...
But it didn't damage anything inside.
Yeah.
I don't think this is the same thing, Kellic. It wasn't like the ash that you use for your like little spells and your hand thingy. It wasn't that.
Oh, okay. All right.
I mean, that sounds really cool to have like a whole world
Well, it's just,
made of ash.
you know, it could be possible someone would want to go there.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
If someone was working on keys to... I don't know.
I mean, that's a much prettier place to go than somewhere that's full of fire, but I think he made a key to somewhere full of fire. Maybe on accident?
What if he just made a... you say nothing was destroyed, so it wasn't a bomb?
No, so it wasn't a bomb. That's what's so crazy, right?
Are you sure none of his stuff was just fireproof?
Just to clarify on this, nothing was like blasted and destroyed. Everything, it seemed like everything caught on fire.
Oh.
Like if you set a normal fire, it wasn't like a blast that, destroyed everything in the room. It just seement like everything sort of caught on fire.
Okay.
Just to clarify that point.
Fair enough.
Sorry.
I don't know, but it could be a thing. We don't know. Do you want to go to his house?
Well...
You could see for yourself.
Where is his house?
Oh, where is his house? DM, do I know where his house is?
Bram's house?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you would, because you would have traveled there.
Yeah, do I remember exactly where that was? Like, I know we were in Blackpool before going.
So you went to his house before you went to Blackpool.
Yes.
I will get back to you on that.
Yep, sorry.
It's all good.
It's not in this town, though, right?
Mm-mm.
It is not in Solaris, no.
Okay. So what now? We just wait till the morning and we get those little magic doodads so that the Hologuard can't find us?
I'm interested in finding out who the bringer of these gadgets or devices is as well. How they come into who they are.
Right.
DM? No, I
Yeah.
guess I would probably roll against this if it were me. With sending, you can send a short message of 25 words or less to a creature with which you are familiar.
You are not familiar.
I'm not
no.
familiar. Yeah.
I am. Not
You're
really.
sending?
None of us have met him.
Level 5, baby.
Wow.
We could go to the Hologuard.
What?
How do you know
But
where
we're
they are?
getting
Go there.
a doodad so that they can't find us. Why would we go
Right.
to them?
So they can't track us, and we go get the upper hand.
Surprise!
Why?
Get to the bottom
and
of
do
it.
what?
Find the line of delineation between these two things.
Save the world.
I mean,
Like,
yeah,
where
let's
the-
just go walk
where's
up
the
to
Hologuard
the
at?
cult and let's just go ask them what's going on too while we're at it.
Or we can let them gallivant across the country, breaking crystals and possessing halflings and giving them horns until the end of the world is
Oh,
upon us.
right. How are your horns?
Oh, yeah. I feel up to... Are they still there?
Yeah, they are still there.
Oh, man. That's probably not good.
We have to put a stop to them, Olma. It might mean we need to exhibit a little bit of bravery.
I'm brave.
If we can't be tracked, and we can't be detected, then, there's no reason to think that we couldn't make some kind of, I'm not saying
See-
we go and throwing firebolts. I just think, the answers are with the people behind the things.
Okay. I can see reason there. DM, do I know where the headquarters is?
You would not specifically know. No,
Okay.
you actually wouldn't.
Would I know of any chapter, like local chapter?
Yeah, you would know. Well, you would know where Air went to contact higher ups. That's about as far up the chain as you got. So you would know. Let me see. In Andoria.
Right.
In Andoria, there was a. Let me see. So there was a tavern called the Broken Oath, and right next to it, there is an unmarked, unnamed building. No signage or any defining markings on the outside, but you do know that that's where Air went in the city of Andoria.
Thank you.
Yep.
Kell, you said you could potentially reach out to someone, talk to them that are far away.
I was thinking about maybe sending some word to James. In fact,
Yeah.
see if he's doing all right.
You could also, I mean, the Ironlight might know some information. I know I'm kind of out here to see more about this Hologuard thing, and maybe Mellaroo has some.
Maybe she
answers.
knows where their headquarters is.
Yeah, maybe she has some answers,
That's
and
a thought.
we could tell her what we know, and then maybe that'll maybe fill in some holes that she has.
Hey, Flynn.
Hey.
That was a really good idea.
I think I'm getting it, figuring it out. I think being around a Sentinel made me smarter.
Oh. Sure? I don't think it rubs off like that.
I don't know. Magic is iffy.
Okay.
I mean, I look at you. Come on, you should know that.
Unpredictable, sure. But I mean, like, I'm not rubbing off on you and you're not rubbing off on me magic-wise.
I think in a way we kind of are.
Why would Melaroo know the location of Hologuard?
I don't know, but it's worth a shot. We're kind of out of options right now.
Is there a way you could contact her without trudging all the way back to Addersfeld?
Well, we don't have to go to Addersfeld. So there used to be a building in Andoria where I met Ayer that he used to meet up with people from the Hologuard. So I could take you there. And also while we're in Andoria, I could go and see if maybe Xavier came back home and he could probably help us too.
Yeah, and we don't have to go to Addersfeld because apparently Kell can reach out to people. Like
I have
Like
recently
anywhere in the
acquired
world?
Yes.
Wow.
It's hard to explain, but when I look at people, I can see the tethers that tie them to this plane, and if you follow those tethers, they kind of stretch.
Can you see my tethers?
If I focus, yeah, I can.
What color are they?
Well, they kind of oscillate. Everyone's colors are the same, Olma. I'm sorry to disappoint. But
No, mine are
there's a
different. Can
fabric.
you check? You just have to check. You haven't even checked. You said you have to focus.
Oh, all right. I'll take a look. I hunch over. I put my hands on my knees. I sort of look around. Turn around for me. Do a little.
Okay.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Bless you.
that's you.
They are. There's a little bit of sort of yellow on the ends, right? But then as it gets closer to you, it turns bluish in hue, and then as it gets far the closest to you, it becomes a shade of lavender, purple.
Wow.
It's quite complex. I've never seen anything like it.
What color am I?
I'm complex.
Here's orange, Flynn.
Oh,
Haha.
just orange? Do you want me to like spin around or anything or?
Nah, you're fine. I got you.
Oh,
You're covered.
okay.
Olma, you mentioned the name Xavier. What familiarity do you have with... What's the significance of that?
Xavier's my friend. And he helped me before I met Air and March in Andoria. But he was gone. He just kind of disappeared, and I've been looking for him since then. But I kind of got distracted, obviously, and I haven't found him anywhere. So it'd be nice to go back and see maybe he just like came back home.
I
And he's part
don't know how...
of the Hologuard?
No.
I don't know how common of a name Xavier is, but I recently met a Xavier myself, a young one, in this city.
A young one?
Younger.
No, he's old.
Oh, he's old.
He's super old. He's a wizard. He's real old.
Oh, no, I'm confusing my... No, I did meet an older wizard with the name Xavier, but he was bound
Huh? Where?
in this city.
Like today? You met
What?
him today?
I met three... actually met five
You met
beings.
3 Xaviers?
No,
You
no,
met
not
5
Xaviers.
Xaviers? That's weird.
Did you meet every age group of a Xavier?
No. It's hard to remember some of these particularities of the names of people of
But
this
you met
origin.
an old guy named Xavier, and he had a white goatee and white hair. Did he look like my mud monster?
I couldn't tell. He was wrapped in chains. I found myself on a little bit of a wild goose chase earlier today, trying to help out some children who had their parental figure locked up in the prisons here. And while I was there, I came into contact with a being named Xavier, seemingly a very powerful being named Xavier.
Shreya?
I tried to free
Was
this
he on the
person, but I
chopping
couldn't.
block?
Shreya?
Is he in danger, Shreya?
1 second. Did you do a prison break without us?
I wouldn't say I did one.
You
suppose
totally did.
I stumbled into one.
You did a prison break without us. That's so rude. You have to wait for us.
Well, I meant to. You were all gone except for one of you.
You could have woke us up or woke me up.
Well,
But you did. You only got one person out of jail, and Xavier's still there.
It's not for lack of try. Look, I went to go to the park today. That was all I wanted to do, was to go to the
park is
and have a nice time. And then they seemed so sweet, and they wanted their parent back, and I couldn't help but help them, and it was way outside of my comfort zone, but I ended up, I suppose I ended up doing a prison break.
The judicial system here seems pretty fond of capital punishment, Shreya. Is Xavier on the chopping block? Is he in danger?
I don't know. All I know is that when he seemed like a nice enough fellow. I tried to free him myself, but did not have the ability or the level of magic required to. And then as I hid from the guards, I noticed that they were transferring him somewhere else. If this is indeed the same Xavier, which how do we know it is?
Were they transferring him right now? We gotta get him before they transfer him somewhere else.
I have no way of knowing that, Olma. I think his last name was...
Why didn't you tell us you were helping with a prison break when we first got here? Why have we been wasting our time if there's people in prison?
Literally the first thing I did when I got back was ask you how your day was.
And then we ran. You never asked. After that, we ran over to another house.
Let's go to the prison.
Oh.
Let's go to the prison.
What time is it?
Yeah, what time is it?
It's pretty late.
It's approaching midnight.
Oh, wait.
We're
right
going.
now.
Let's go to the
We're
prison
going to the
tomorrow
prison.
morning.
We can't wait. What if they transfer him at night?
Well, do you want to go check it out now? How far away is the prison?
Wait.
Dan, how far away is the prison?
The prison is like sort of on the other side of town.
Well,
I think Alma's right. If Xavier's a trusted person, and I trust Alma's judgment, then we have to go see what's going on.
well, what if Shreya and I go check it out quick? Because we can fly over there, right? Like,
Yes. In fact, that is partially...
You don't even know what Xavier looks like, so how would you even know if it's the right one?
Well,
he does.
I just wanted to ask
He
you if I
doesn't know
could get
what
a
he looks
moment.
like.
His last name was Xavier Willow something. I can't remember the last part of that last name.
That's him!
Well, why don't we just go to the prison right now and see if he's still there?
There is I don't know if you've all gathered this by now, but this city operates on very strict rules and procedures. You can't just waltz into the prison and get...
Well, obviously not, but...
Well, how did you do it?
There's a gate, and there are keys, and it was, now that I look back on it, very lucky that nothing went wrong.
His name is Archwillow.
Archwillow, Xavier, that's right, Xavier Archwillow, right.
That was him?
Yes,
That's what he said his name was? Then we gotta go. I'm gonna go.
Yeah, let's go check it out, see if he's still there, and if it doesn't look like he's being moved right now, we can come back, get some rest, and then go back in the morning and...
You can come back and get some rest. I'm not gonna leave him in prison any longer. He's been gone for almost a year.
This was hours ago. He could be anywhere now.
Well, let's go. Let's see. We can play it by ear. Improvise.
Okay, so you guys are going over right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
All right.
Nighttime prison
So
break.
you guys head out. Flynn, are you bringing Thaddeus?
It seemed like he said that he couldn't turn on anymore for the rest of the day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave him because of that. I'll put him on my bed. I'll just set him on my bed and I'll pull the covers up just a little bit over him. So he kind of...
Okay.
I'll tuck him in.
All right. So you guys head out of the inn. You guys head across town. It takes you about 45 minutes to get over there. But Shreya leading the way leads you guys towards the prison. You guys are able to see that this is a militarized zone of the city. There are smaller walls and guards along the edges of it that you can see, and like an entire, I'd say like a fourth of this city is consumed in this militarized zone. Shrai, you lead them up towards this wall, sort of in the same area that you had entered in through, and immediately you guys see guards passing on the top of the wall above you.
Hug the wall, hug the wall.
I'll hug the wall.
Yeah, I'll be sneaky.
Okay, I'm gonna have all of you guys make a stealth check right now.
You got it.
14.
9.
13.
21.
Nice.
Okay, so far you guys don't feel like you've been seen by anyone.
How did you
As you
get
guys
in?
are up hugging this wall.
Shreya, how'd you get in last time?
Well, we have to wait. We have to wait until there's a changing of the guard, and there's also a way that I can.
Would I still have the key from that guard, by the way, to open that
Yeah,
inside
you
door?
never- you never
I
dropped it.
dropped it.
What I could do is I could open the door from the inside, and then I did learn that there's a way to go down into the under the ground, and then there's a way to enter the prison from the sewer complex.
Wow.
But we have to
You
wait.
learned a whole lot more about the city than I did.
Try it. You're kind of a badass.
I try to avoid cities as much as I can. I hope if this information can help us find your friend, you know this person is your friend, then he did seem like a very nice fellow, and I'm gonna get kind of
He's very
distracted.
nice.
But we do have to wait. We have to wait until the changing of the guard. That's the only way.
Okay, so as you guys wait there, Shreya, you're sort of looking up onto the top of the wall, waiting for that guard change that you had seen earlier. But just as those halflings had told you, the guard is seemingly doubled at night. And you don't see any breaks in the guards.
Wait, were they halflings or kids that you helped? Were you calling
they
them
were-
kids because they were halflings?
I thought I couldn't tell, but based on their manner, it appeared. Oh, you know what? They were actually halflings. Now that I think about it.
Unbelievable!
Do you have any concept of what age means?
Look, in some respects, and take no offense to this, but other beings not like myself seem to meld together.
You saying we look the same?
I mean, I wouldn't go that far, but
Shreya, we're gonna have to do a course on this whole
Yeah,
whole
the thing with dwarves
This thing-
bothers me
the
too a little
dwarven
bit.
thing is problematic, Shreya.
they're very domineering, and it appears
One
that
thing at a time. One thing at a time. Let's focus.
A dwarf you've encountered might have been domineering, Shreya.
I mean, my mom's pretty
anyway.
domineering too.
well, your species seems to be very operate with something like this, and I just kind of wink and nudge. It seems to be a current that runs through all of you. But we're losing focus. We need to incapacitate one of those guards.
Hang on.
Wait,
Before we start...
I thought we were waiting for that. Now
City
we're
guards
fighting.
over the head.
It doesn't appear that the shifts are happening the same way they did earlier today.
Well, why don't we try distraction first?
Is there something we can do to just tell that Xavier's even here at all?
That is a good point.
What is the setup like? Are they? Remind me again where the guards are. Are they like up? They're up on a wall. Is that what you said?
They're up on top of the wall. So this is sort of a walled off section of the city. And the wall right here is about, I'd say, 15 feet high. And you can see guards walking on the top of the wall, mostly dwarven. You do see a human every once in a while. You see a tiefling every once in a while, but mostly dwarves.
And we're looking at going in the main gate right now. Is that what we're looking at, or is there a side gate that we're trying to get in?
So as you guys are sort of sneaking along this wall, Shrai brings you right up to it's sort of like a side door. It's this big, thick wooden door that you see, and notably no handles or locks or anything on the outside.
Why don't we just go in this door? It doesn't seem like they've noticed us yet. They're all up the way on the wall up there.
I could attempt to... I've never been able to fly and not be noticed, but I could attempt to fly over the wall, open the door from the inside, and then we'd be on the inside, but I can't imagine that we could do that without being spotted.
So the issue here is that the door only opens from the inside?
Yes, and I have the key from the inside.
Does it like slide open or swing open?
No, there's a lever that you pull, and the door...
Oh.
Yes. Now you see the dilemma.
Yeah. Does it look... I'll kind of like... On our approach, did it seem like we could maybe get over the wall without them noticing? Is there like a gap or is the guard like all the way across the wall? There's like multiple guards all over the place.
Make a perception check for me.
Not very good. Perception. 10?
10. You don't notice any sort of break in the shifts.
I think we would have to do some kind of like distraction or something.
I did do a distraction earlier to cover my newly formed friends' escape from this city. I created a thunder blast on one side of the main gate of the city, and when I did that, they all seemed to rush over to it. Perhaps I could do that again.
Interesting.
But that is
Would it
a
be
very...
obvious if we did the same thing?
What?
Do you think it'd be obvious if we did the same thing again?
Oh, that they would... A different part of the city, I don't know if they would have connected those dots.
Well, we could do... We have others here now that can do magic. Maybe Kellic or Olma can do something that's different from what you did, and it'll work better. What kind of stuff can you all do?
I can't really do anything that far away.
How far away? I'll look over. How far away was it that you did this disruptive wave or distraction?
I was a decent amount away from the actual gate itself.
Well, so Shry, are you talking about when you actually did the distraction at the very end when they were escaping?
Yes, that one.
Okay, that was at the main entrance gate for the entire city that you had all passed through when you first got to the city. This is like a different sort of sectioned off portion of the city. So it was, in order to get to that spot where Shry had made the distraction, you guys would have to go all the way back to the inn and then pass the inn and continue on towards the front of the city. This is, I would say, probably a couple miles away from where that happened.
I don't think they would have heard of this. I can stand up to 20 feet away from the source of the impact. So perhaps if I go over here and I point over at that section of the wall, I make the disruption happen there, and then we can rush back over here and I can open the gate.
I think it might be better if someone else does the distraction, so you're ready to fly over the wall immediately.
That's
open
a good
the door.
point. That's a good point.
Okay, sure.
Can anyone do any type of explosions?
Yeah.
And I look at Olma.
Are there any buildings nearby that appear to be abandoned?
/ flammable.
Make a perception check for me.
Goodness, no. City secrets.
That was a 1. Crit fail.
A 1. You have no idea.
Great, I'm just gonna pick one
What?
at random.
Oh boy.
Wait.
Pick a building at random that looks dirtiest.
Ooh.
From
Okay.
me, and as far away from the wall as I can while still being able to like run back to the wall. So let's say my spell that I'm gonna use is
While she's looking at houses, could I also look to see if there's like
120 feet.
hay barrels or something not a home of a family? And like, are there anything else that maybe she could set fire to or destruct that is like an inanimate object, like a wagon or something?
Yeah, sure. I'm going to have you make a perception check.
Sure.
And I am also going to have both of you guys roll initiative
Okay.
right now.
So first, the perception was actually pretty good. Total of 19, and then initiative.
Initiative 15.
Initiative 18. Two good rolls.
Okay. Flynn, just as she's about to cast the spell,
Okay.
you notice a couple of barrels out next to building.
And I point to the barrels. Just maybe those, maybe not, maybe those. I like what you're thinking, but
Right.
maybe.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
How far are the barrels away from the door?
From the door, they're about 100 feet.
Okay.
I just don't know if that's enough. Do you think that's enough distance? I guess it'll have to be, right? I mean,
If not, then
how
light the
tall
house
is
on fire.
how tall is the wall?
15 feet.
15 feet high. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, pretty far distance,
mean,
and
they're
I have
also-
120 feet. Okay, I'm going to send 3 scorching rays at the
Ooh.
3 barrels or multiple barrels,
Wait, that's a
however many
spell
barrels
too,
I can
right?
altogether. It is a spell.
Oh boy.
Okay,
You
so
want a distraction.
Well, here we go.
Here comes
Maybe
a distraction.
there's a big distraction coming up.
Okay.
Okay.
I think I can hit those.
Yeah.
It's kind of far, and I haven't tried to hit anything that far.
Is it worth
Before-
considering? And DM, you're welcome to rule that I say this as she fires. that this prison might have a visitor policy.
I'm going to say she already said that she's casting the spell. So I'm going to rule that she casts
As
it.
you say that.
Visitor
As you are saying that, as you say,
Yeah, and I
this spell goes off.
and I bring my hands together and I try to make the triangle that I always make with my hands, but I'm kind of distracted by how far it is away, and so my hands don't quite reach together before I start saying, I've never tried this far.
Wait, what?
And 3 darts of flame exit my fingers.
Okay. As they do, all of them hit the barrels in front of you. And is that what
It's an
effect
it's an
does that
attack
have?
for each one. But I mean, I don't know if this has an armor class because it's a barrel.
It's a barrel.
And then it
You hit
does 2d6 fire damage.
2d6 fire damage. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So as each of these hit the barrels, boom, 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 they immediately catch on fire, and it's not a massive explosion, but it like definitely knocks the barrels back, and they immediately catch on fire. Smoke starts going up as you can hear from the top of the wall.
Does anyone have a way?
over here.
Does anyone have a way of making a big booming sound? I probably should have asked that first. I'm gonna roll my wild magic.
Roll your wild magic.
19.
19. Nice. Okay.
I
So
don't
keep it
even know
under
what
control.
I'm supposed to roll over, but you know,
That is.
I think it was a 4, maybe.
a 4 at that point.
Yeah,
So you're at
okay.
a 5 right now.
Oh no.
And so you guys see a couple of guards making their way over towards that section on top of the wall. You hear like conversation and commotion among them of like what they should do. And then one of them says, yeah, I'll go down and try and deal with it. And another one goes, okay, yeah, I'll go with you. And then they all sort of split up,
Yeah.
leaving a section of the wall unguarded.
Let's go. I'll go with Shreya I'll hold my hands out and get ready if he wants to pick me up and take
I
me
don't
with
think
him.
I think you should just go with one person. You're wearing really loud stuff.
He can pull the lever and then we can just go in.
Yeah, just let him go by
Okay.
himself.
Be safe.
So I'm gonna fly and hover myself like really close to the wall. I'm just gonna stick to as close to the wall as I can as I go up and over and drop down to the other side.
All right. Make a stealth check at advantage.
Ooh.
That is a 12.
12. Okay. You glide and make your way over towards the top of the building. I'm sorry, the top of the wall. And you definitely would have been seen if not for the distraction. But you make it over to the other side and you land there and you see a very familiar door, a lock, and a lever.
I'm going to, as quickly as I can, put the key in the lock and pull the lever.
Okay. And just as before, you turn the lock, you hear a click on the inside, you pull the lever, and you hear a and the door swings open towards the outside.
We all run in. I run in.
Go.
Yep.
Go, 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 go. Yeah.
Like the wind.
Okay, you guys are on the inside of this wall. As you look around, you see, in stark contrast to the city outside, where it's mostly wooden buildings, these are mostly stone buildings, and you can see like different fort type structures and like very secure looking buildings. Where are you guys going?
The sewer entry's this way. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm following Shreya.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shreya ducks you guys to the right, and just down, you guys see this little sort of like a manhole cover, and Shreya pops that open, and you guys dip down, and you guys are now in the sewer tunnel. Immediately, your guys' noses are filled with those normal smells of a sewer.
Here, this will help.
You
And
guys,
I pop out a feather for each of them, and that they can hold to their noses.
okay.
Makes my
and
nose so
just,
itchy.
just as before, the feather makes the smell go away a little bit. But for those of you who are not Shreya, the feather definitely smells like Shreya. And you guys get the manhole cover back in its place, and you guys are secured within this tunnel. You guys look down. It's just one direction down in front of you guys, as there's sort of you're sort of at the end of this section of the sewer tunnel. And as you listen, all you can hear is the muffled commotion above.
How dark is it down here?
That is a good point. It is pitch black down here,
Okay.
so anyone without dark vision cannot see.
I'm gonna reach into my bag, pull out my fire starter and a torch, and I'm gonna light up my torch, and then immediately run my hands over it, doubling the brightness.
Cool.
Okay, and immediately everyone who does not have dark vision can see. And you guys see this long tunnel stretching down in one direction.
Now, if my memory is correct, one of these channels upward leads directly into the cells.
Okay.
You guys are walking along this sewer tunnel, and eventually you guys come across the ladder that leads up, that Shreya you recognize. It seems to be like another sort of latch up there to a like a swinging sort of hatch. Is there anything that you guys want to do before you go up?
Is there anything we see in the tunnel that would guide us as to what else is down here, or what they use it for? Any like nefarious business? Do we see any scratchings on the wall?
Yeah, you can make an investigation check.
17.
17. Looks like a sewer. You're pretty confident that this isn't used for any secret
This is
entrances
not how
or
they
anything.
get the prisoners out, probably.
No,
Okay.
this is not.
Okay, so Shreya, this is it? This is how we get to everyone?
Yes, but I must caution you, once we get on the other side of this latch, we must move very quickly, very silently. There may be prisoners that try to distract you, because it could be a chance for their freedom as well. I made that mistake last time, but we mustn't. It'll only slow us down.
Did you let someone out?
I might have freed more prisoners than I intended to.
Oh. And you don't know if they're good or bad?
I didn't ask.
It's hard to know, right? Like, we don't know what side is good or bad in this whole thing.
Who
So,
did you
like-
let out of prison, Shreya?
The parent of the children, there was also a short, stout dwarven man who seemed to have some reckoning with the city itself. He'd broken some laws. I can't even remember now.
You let a dwarf free?
I know. But he seemed like he was at odds with the dwarven establishment, so he seemed all right in my book.
Oh, okay.
And then I did run into your friend Xavier something Willow, so But I have no way of knowing if he's still here, so we must be quick about it.
Let's quick,
If this
yeah.
guy's name is Archwillow and not Willow Arch,
Archwillow.
we are
yes.
going to have a long discussion.
His name is Archwillow, not Willow Arch.
Well, with any luck,
Like,
he's
his
still
name
here.
is Archwillow.
Oh, didn't he say Willow something first?
Yeah, but it's Archwillow.
I just
Right,
remember
just
there was
saying.
a tree involved, and I like trees.
Guys, we should probably get going.
Yeah.
Yes,
Right.
let's go.
Okay. So you guys make your way up into this little hatch. I'm going to have... Who's going first? Who's going up this ladder first?
Probably Shreya, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I'll go first.
Yeah.
I would suggest Shreya
Yeah,
because
yeah.
he knows where we're
Yeah.
going.
Okay. Shrai, as you pop this hatch open, I'm going to have you make a perception check.
Oh no.
That is a 15.
15. Okay. Immediately as you pop it open, you can see a single guard lined up at every single cell.
Oh boy.
Completely unlike what you saw earlier. There is now a guard for each prisoner.
Because of the prison break.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy. I'm gonna slowly close the hatch and look back down at my fellow party members and say,
We may not want to do this same one again. I think they've gotten wise to this particular entrance.
How many
If
are
I
there?
look up ahead, DM, are there more hatches further down the tunnel?
Looking ahead, you do see a couple more ladders leading up to hatches. Yeah.
Maybe we go two farther? Do you know, in relation to where we are, Shreya, where Xavier's cell would be?
He was a little bit of a distance from this particular entry, so there's a chance that if we go up through one of the other ones, we'll actually be closer to his cell.
Worth a shot. Come on.
Yeah, I guess it's worth a try.
Let's try the others.
Okay. So you guys head back down into the main sewer tunnel. And are you guys just going to the next one over?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No, I'm 2 over.
Okay.
2.
Let's do two over.
Yeah, two.
Yeah.
2 over. Okay. All right. So you guys walk down another couple hundred feet, and you guys find another ladder. You climb up the ladder and you open up the hatch. And as you look out, it seems to be some sort of barracks. It seems to be the room that you open up into is unoccupied, but it seems to be like there are beds lined up, there are dressers, and there are like weaponry and armor hanging from the walls.
I have an idea. As long as we're using distractions, why don't we plant one here and then go back there?
Alternately, we could put on their armor and pose as guards.
Well, no matter what kind of armor I put on, I don't think there'll be any confusion as to who I am.
That's a valid point. They're probably mostly dwarves, anyhow. Right. Distraction it is.
And as I remember the good feelings that I got from being successful the last time, I'm going to send a shock. How big is the room, by the way?
The room that you're looking up into is about 15 feet by 15 feet, but just packed with beds and living stuff.
Is there a section of the room that's holding like all the metallic features and armor and like a section of it?
Yeah, you could see like all of the soldiers who live and sleep in this room. They have sort of a corner set up where all of their armor and their weapons go.
Alternatively, instead of putting everyone on alarm, maybe we just use this since they're not here to get out and into the prison?
Yes, we will be working with, not knowing where we're going, but I suppose we can try.
Well, maybe there's a map when you get inside. It's with their living base, right?
That's true, let's check out the room first.
Okay, so are you all popping up into the room?
Sure.
Is there an orientation
Do
pamphlet?
you see anyone? Do you see anyone in there, Shreya?
Not that I can see.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys all pop up into the room.
And there just happens to be a good map with exit, with the evacuation
You
routes.
are here.
With
You
a
are
little
here.
star
The fire
figure.
escape routes.
Here's the fire escape route.
So yeah, you all pop up into this room. You guys see exactly what Shreya saw: the beds, the armor in the corner, the weapons in the corner, and just as the last person gets themselves out of the hatch and into this room, you guys hear the door to this room slowly creak open. And that is where we're going to end this session. We're going to call it right there. But yeah, we're going to call it right there. Thank you all so much for listening, and we can't wait to see y'all again next week. Bye, nerds.
Bye,
nerds.
Bye, nerds.
Hey, guys. It's me, Ethan, the DM. Thank you all so much for listening once again. We had a lot of fun making that episode, so I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. Just wanted to say we are on social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. We're on all of it. So be sure to go over and follow us there. We're also on Patreon. So if you guys want to support, we've got some really cool tier options that you guys can actually help out and participate directly in the campaign. So go over and check that out if you would like. It's also got a bunch of free stuff on there, like some of the soundtrack, as well as the world maps you guys can follow along as the gang adventures across Elbor. It's really cool, so go check it out, and thank you all so much once again for listening. Bye, nerds.